This is Keep On Cooking, a podcast for people who love cookbooks and want to know more about the authors. It's also a great place to get a weekly dose of culinary inspiration to keep things pumping in the kitchen. So grab a cookbook and keep on cooking. I'm Dustin Harder, and this is Keep On Cooking. Hello, and welcome to Keep On Cooking, the only podcast dedicated to plant-based cookbooks. I'm your host, Dustin Harder, and we are here to have a fun time, honey. We're going over the Superfun Times vegan holiday cookbook, entertaining for absolutely every occasion by Chandra Moskowitz today. It's just me running solo. I'm doing a thing this year where instead of just talking about the holiday books available to you on our Christmas special, which will be coming up in a few weeks, of course, we're going through the books we've been talking about for the last couple of years, so you can get a better glimpse inside the book to see what recipes are in there and see if there's anything you might want to make from them, if it might be a book that you want to have on your shelf to help along with your holiday cooking this year and beyond, not just for this holiday season, but for all the holidays, right? So before we dive into this book, what's new? What's coming up in the plant-based world? We got, this one's wild here. Didn't know this was coming, but 11 Madison Park, the plant-based chapter, a cookbook. So this is coming out November 19th. Might be the same day this episode comes out, or it just came out already. But it says it's a deluxe limited edition set of books with recipes capturing the transformation of 11 Madison Park, one of the most lavishly praised restaurants in the world, into the first plant-based kitchen to earn 3 Michelin stars. Under visionary chef Daniel Hum, 11 Madison Park became the first and only plant-based restaurant in the world to win 3 Michelin stars. This unprecedented look inside the mind of one of the world's greatest chefs reveals how he and his team create their magic. For 25 years, 11 Madison Park has opened the eyes of diners to the exquisite possibilities inside ingredients. And today, they continue to break new ground. Now the chef invites you behind the scenes of the restaurant's extraordinary transformation. So this is a multiple book endeavor. It looks like maybe there's 3 books in the volume, it looks like, and it is $275. So if high-end dining is your thing and you have been just dying to get into the minds of Chef Daniel of 11 Madison Park, this is your opportunity. It says limited edition, so I don't know, of course, how many there will be. This is a collectible slipcase set that has been printed in Italy on fine art paper and bound in vibrant cloth. Each set is hand numbered and signed by Chef Hum and contains 3 volumes, recipes, a cookbook containing the fully detailed recipes for 11 Madison Park's inspiring seasonal menus, including observations from the kitchen team, photography by Francesco Tonelli, and paintings by Francesco Clement. Excuse me. Drawings, a portfolio containing an essay on creativity from Chef Hum, and 6 frameable illustrations printed on heavy watercolor paper drawn from his recipe inspiration workbooks, and a book called Backstage, a work of photojournalism taking readers into the kitchen by photographer Yi Fawn, who was granted unprecedented access to 11 Madison Park over several years. This edition is limited to 11,000 copies, and its publication is a landmark event in the history of fine dining. Never before has such an influential kitchen been documented in this detail. So if that is your thing, listeners, this is my shout out to you. Get her done. If there's only 11,000 copies, don't snooze on it. It's quite a high price tag, my friends. I'm trying to look at more images here to see if we get they show you a little bit on Amazon. You get to see some of the stuff that's in here. So again, this is 11 Madison Park, the plant-based chapter, a cookbook. It's got 3 books within its collectible slipcase set. It's $275. This comes out on November 19th of 2024. So by the time this comes out, it may have been out for a week already. So I'm sorry I didn't give you a quicker jump on that, tell you sooner, but maybe you can still get yourself a copy. Another one I want to tell you about is Plant Protein, 80 quick and delicious high-protein vegan recipes packed with healthy whole foods. And this is by Gigi Gracia. It's coming out January 7th, 2025. Quick protein-packed vegan recipes you'll want to cook again and again. Where do you get your protein is one of the most common questions vegans are asked. She's not wrong there. Vegan nutrition coach Gigi Gracia is already helping over 500,000 followers on Instagram to cook healthy, yummy, easy meals which are high in complete proteins and 100% plant-based. Gigi is a qualified personal trainer and ultra marathon runner, so she knows how to fuel an active lifestyle powered by plants. In Plant Protein, Gigi demystifies how protein works and how we can easily incorporate it in our diets without relying on animal products. You'll also find a list of pantry and fridge staples, tips for batch cooking to get you organized for busy weeks, and 80 plus healthy protein rich recipes. Originally from Italy, Gigi has also put her spin on mouth-watering Italian classics like creamy smoked tofu carbonara, tempeh cacciatore, lasagna primavera, and strawberry and coconut tiramisu. I like the sounds of that. Discover delicious and nutritious recipes for energizing breakfast, quick, tasty lunches, and comforting dinners and snacks with a protein hit to keep you satisfied all day long. Of course, you can follow Gigi at Gigi_goes_vegan on all platforms. So again, this is Plant Protein, 80 quick and delicious high protein vegan recipes packed with healthy whole foods, coming out January 7th, 2025. And I want to share a fun fact with you. That's a couple new releases coming up. And now a fun fact. We're talking about all the holiday stuff. So I said, ChatGPT, share a fun holiday fact with me about vegan food. Let's see what randomly happened, right? So they said, and actually, I wanted to know this. Fun fact, did you know that cranberries were one of the first plant-based holiday staples in North America? Native Americans used cranberries not only as food, but also as dye and medicine. The mighty cranberry, I tell you. The traditional cranberry sauce we know today evolved from their original recipes and is now a vegan-friendly holiday classic enjoyed worldwide. So get into it, everybody. The cranberry's been doing us good on the vegan, bringing the vegan goods to the holiday table for a long time. I love me some cranberry sauce. Anyway, I like a cranberry relish. I like a cranberry sauce. I like the cranberry jelly that's in the can. I like it all. Love me some cranberries. Just love them. I've also developed a deep love for very fresh cranberries during the holiday season. I love it. Okay, so we're getting into the Superfun Times Vegan Holiday Cookbook, entertaining for absolutely every occasion by the one and only Chandra Moskowitz. I know we've been going hard on the Chandra books here for a couple weeks, and it just kind of lined up that way that we were so blessed to get Terry and Issa to do an episode together on Veganomicon, and then of course this holiday book is one that we talk about every year as an option for holiday go-tos for cooking. So it fell right here. It landed that way. The universe willed it that you got 2 weeks of Chandra Moskowitz. This is best-selling author, vegan goddess, and comfort food queen. Chandra Moskowitz is back with her biggest book ever. Of course, this was written when the book was about to come up. She's back to prove that making festive vegan food for any occasion can be easy, delicious, and super fun. This came out November 15th, 2016. It says, gone are the days of stressing over how to please family and friends with different dietary needs, bursting with knock your socks off, mind-boggling, tasty vegan recipes for Cinnamon Apple Crepes, Cheeseburger Pizza, Biscuits and Gravy, Churro Biscotti, and so much more. The Superfun Times Vegan Holiday Cookbook will make everyone at your table happy, even meat eaters and gluten challenged. You'll start with New Year's, stop for Valentine's Day on the way to Easter and Passover, party down from Cinco de Mayo through the 4th of July, and cook through Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, and Christmas. And with more than 250 seasonal recipes, you'll mix, match, and remix for every celebration in between, filling your life with holiday cheer the whole year round. So let's get into it, shall we? There's a lot to cover in this book, so grab yourself a beverage. I've got myself a green smoothie and a little bottle of water. Together, we're going to get through this. So it's no joke. This is a hefty book, and it's filled with some really fun pictures of Issa in here, actually, as well. Celebrating the holidays in what appears to be, a season when you're around lots of people. It's lots of solo pictures of her kind of just having a solo party celebration, which I'm all for. I love myself. I've had some solo holidays myself. I've enjoyed them tremendously. I love my own company as a thing. I do. I can sit with myself and talk to myself or not talk to myself for hours and still find things to not talk about. So I love it. Chapter 1 is New Year's. So let's take a look. She gets in the beginning, we've got a typical intro here talking about hosting tips for the hopeless, make ahead items, setting the holiday table or not. So what's fun is she's giving you sort of a vibe for like you can get as involved as you want for this holiday extravaganza, or you can sort of pull back a little bit and just make sure everybody has something delicious to eat. She's got allergy substitutions in here. She goes over kitchen equipment. And then we get to some New Year's recipes. So I'm always curious about this when I see New Year's in a book. I'm like, what constitutes New Year's food, right? She says, whether it's an intimate evening with friends and family or a full on party with champagne popping and booty shaking, your evening is ready to rock with these recipes. The next morning, you're celebrating or sweeping away the year you just left behind and saying hello to the first sunrise or afternoon of the first day. That's so funny. Sometimes the new year was an afternoon for me in the back in the day. January 1. What time is it? 1 o'clock? Oh, what happened last night? So sometimes you're saying hello to the first sunrise or afternoon of the first day of a brand spanking new year. There's never been a better time to become the best dang vegan cook in the world. Have a vegan brunch. I am a big fan of vegan brunch. I will say that. And I love that she's saying that in here. She says it really doesn't matter when you roll out of bread. Brunch gives you a luxurious window of time spanning breakfast, lunch, all in one convenient portmanteau. I have to look that word up, y'all. Portmanteau. Come on, girl, with that vocabulary. Keep it casual and spontaneous, inviting over whomever you feel like on the spur of the moment, or plan ahead with things you can make beforehand and have very little to do on the day of. Either way, a lavish and fun brunch does not need to be complicated. So some great items in here. I love that's the angle she's taking on this for New Year's. I'm always thinking, what are we serving appetizers for New Year's Eve? But I like the brunch angle. So let's see. We've got tempeh sausage stuffed mushrooms, roasted vegetable banh mi, jicama avocado salad with grapes, chicky style seitan, smoking hot dates, black eyed pea and zucchini crab cakes. I've heard and seen black eyed peas are a New Year's Eve delicacy. Lacy crepes, cinnamon apple crepes, Hoppin' John bowl. Also have seen that often. Bagels and knocks with wild mushroom caviar. Bagel bar. Setting up a bagel bar, babes. Cream cheese dreams. Seitan and waffles with pomegranate syrup. Oh, pomegranate syrup. How yummy does that sound? Ginger chocolate banana mini loaves, orange pecan sticky buns, and mimosas classic to exotic. So she's giving you wild variations on mimosas here. I'm curious about these smoking hot dates. What are we gonna get with smoking hot dates, right? It's looking like, oh, and I have the page, the corner flipped over like I was gonna make them. So we've got slivered almonds, refined coconut oil, water, seeded chipotle peppers and adobe sauce, lemon juice, teaspoon salt, and 8 medjool dates. So she says, here's a neat little spin on fruit and cheese. A smoky almond filling is piped into sweet dates to create an explosion of flavor. I love this already. I want to make these. I have a bunch of dates in my fridge too. I might make these. Ooh. She says there are tiny little things that come together easily and pack a big punch. You'll need a pastry bag fitted with a little metal piping tip, so don't forget to become a person with a pastry bag to your list of New Year's resolutions. Gotta love Issa and the humor. She's always got it going for you. And I wanted to check out this bagel bar, so I just want to see if we're making are we making boggles from scratch for the bean cream, for the lime mushroom? So it looks like we're not making them from scratch, which I'm okay with. It's a situation to make them from scratch. I love making bagels from scratch. I've done it many times, but I also just love buying them at my favorite bagel shop. You know what I'm saying? So, but she does give you a nice how-to on setting up a bagel bar here. Different toppings, jellies and jams, nut butters, olives, hummus, avocado, sprouts, confetti peppers. That's diced red, yellow, and green bell peppers. Dice them real tiny, she says, and then different variations of cream cheese that you can do as well, from olive, fresh herbs, bacon, vegetables, scallion, and sun-dried tomato. So I love that she's hooking up some options. Our next section here is the Super Bowl. You guys, there's so many sections in here. Let me tell you what all is in here. Super Bowl, Chinese New Year, Valentine's Day, Mardi Gras, Oscars party, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Passover, Cinco de Mayo, Father's Day, 4th of July, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, and Christmas. So I'm going to be zooming through here to give you, like I like to do on this podcast. The whole point is to give you like a very inside look at the recipes, like what exist. so that you can decide if it's something you want to have on your shelf. So now we're looking at Super Bowl. She got a lot of recipes in here. I should have asked her if she really watches the Super Bowl. Uh, because I mean, you don't have to watch it to make the snacks, you know? I love me some snacks. So in this chapter, we've got buffalo chickpea pitas, buffalo cauliflower, rustic pizza dough, barbecue nachos, cheeseburger pizza, grilled wedge salad with maple mustard dressing and smoky pecan. She's throwing some vegetables into into that game day. Warm artichoke dip, black bean and olive dip, sour cream and onion potato skins, Cincinnati spaghetti, chipotle mac and cheese with roasted Brussels sprouts, halftime meatball sliders, chili cheese stick casserole, bestis pesto, marinara sauce, vegan mayo, mini raspberry cheesecakes, and peanut butter brownies. There's also one in here called runzas. I don't know what runzas are. If you do, I'm so happy for you. I don't, so I'm gonna look them up and she can tell us. She said, it's like little, it's almost like little hot pockets, it looks like. She says, Nebraska loves its runzas almost as much as it loves its football. When I moved to the state, I immediately set about trying to make a vegan version. Every culture has its meat-filled dough thing, be it empanadas, calzone, pork buns, or pierogi. And of course, every meat-filled dough thing has its own unique characteristic and nuance. And from region to region, or even family to family, there is always a way that it has to be. According to most native Nebraskans, a runza has to be a doughy white bun shaped like a hoagie, and it has to be stuffed with meat, onion, and cabbage, and not much else. There you go. That's a runza. That's a runza. I didn't know. All right, chapter 3 is the Chinese New Year. Okay, so we're looking at the Chinese New Year. Oh gosh, these peanut butter brownies she mentions for game day look stellar. I love a peanut butter brownie. I love a peanut butter brownie, and I love me a tahini brownie, which is, either you're just using one or the other essentially. But there are these tahini brownies in, what's his name? Max. He's got the 2 cookbooks on less waste. He was a guest on the podcast. Max. Anyways, you'd know him if you saw him. A cutie. So adorable. But he's got these tahini brownies in that cookbook. And they're so good. They're so good. Okay. Look up Keep on Cooking Max, and that'll be the episode that pops up if you're really curious and you want to know. It's really cute, these photos of her in here. They're super fun. They're like locked into a Polaroid frame, and just fun. It's fun to see Isa all like smiling and happy and doing little festive holiday things. So we've got, for the Chinese New Year, hot and sour soup, steamed chicky dumplings, cold sesame noodle bundles, rice paper rolls with red curry peanut sauce, General Tso's seitan, mushy pancakes, seared dragon green beans and almonds. My sister loved mushu pancakes when we were kids. I should make these for her sometime. Curry pork fried rice, Peking portobellos, and tofu short ribs with gingery mashed root vegetables. I can get into all that. I mean, truly. I might just go to this book when I want my fix on some good Chinese food. She got some great stuff in there. Next is Valentine's Day. We're looking at Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh. Every time I go to a new section, I get the final picture of what the last section was. And this has those tofu short ribs that I mentioned. They look so good. Oh, bless. Okay. So, Valentine's Day. It says, if you don't cook for someone you love on Valentine's Day, you are awful. So in this chapter, we have almond crusted French toast with strawberries, broccoli strata, strawberry mache salad, mache? Huh. Beating heart salad with champagne vinaigrette, sweet potato soup with ginger and vanilla, potato samosas and phyllo, green lasagna rolls, pistachio lentil biryani, porcini crusted tofu with shallot pan gravy, arancini with almond cheese, cauliflower tikka masala, and chocolate yogurt bundt cake and mini almond pound cakes. I got to tell you, what I love about having this collection of Valentine's Day recipes is that sometimes when Valentine's Day rolls around, I'm like, I don't know what to do for this. Like, you're always thinking chocolate. Like, I've been in this situation in instances with my jobs where, I've been a culinary director somewhere, or a culinary specialist, and Valentine's rolls around. They're like, we need recipes for this. But we already did, this chocolate thing and that chocolate thing. And I'm like, it's always sort of tricky, right? So I love that she's got some ideas in here. for Valentine's Day that go beyond the chocolate, plus a couple chocolatey things. Chapter 5 is Mardi Gras, baby. Confession, she says, I've never been to New Orleans and I'm no expert on Mardi Gras. She says, but I have ogled food magazines with Mardi Gras menus and I'm an expert on ogling. Combine that with hours and hours of Southern cooking shows plus all the seasons of True Blood, and I think I've got this cuisine down. Work. So in this chapter, we get blackened scrambled tofu and garlicky polenta grits. I want that right now. Chickpea crab mornay, biscuits and white pepper gravy, corn fritters with tomato jam, eggplant po' boy, cauliflower shiitake etouffee, gumbo the herbs, Creole lentil loaf, andouille and cannellini jambalaya, and Kitty's king cake. So she's giving you that classic king cake in here, which we certainly appreciate. This takes us into, and I love it, again, thinking outside of the box for holidays, right? Super fun times, things you need food for to share with people. And one of those things is the Oscar party, babe. You might have an Oscar party. So what kind of foods are you going to serve at an Oscar party? She said this chapter is all about finger foods, or more accurately, it's about the ability to stuff your face with one hand and hold a cocktail in the other while keeping your eyes on the TV and watching beautiful people win awards for movies you keep meaning to see. And if you can do it all in a fancy clothing, so much the better. So in this chapter, you're getting Snuggie bunnies, carrots in a blanket, grilled polenta with tapenade, asparagus cigars and horseradish mayo, shiitake BLT bites, pistachio crusted cashew cheese and strawberry skewers, smoky eggplant wrapped figs, cream cheese toast with sun-dried tomato and basil, pesto chickpea and salad bruschetta, swanky mushroom pate, edamame mint hummus, salted caramel corn with peanuts, and pink grapefruit cupcakes. And she says other hors d'oeuvres from this book that you can totally serve at your Oscar party. So she's listing some from other chapters now that fall into this Oscar party extravaganza. We've got devilish potatoes, smoking hot dates. Oh, I'm going to make those dates. Eggplant caponata, bruschetta, sour cream, and onion potato skins. Yes, please. Tempeh sausage stuffed mushrooms, black-eyed peas and zucchini crab cakes, buffalo cauliflower, corn fritters with tomato jam, and potato samosas and phyllo. I love me some tomato jam, y'all. It might be like my new favorite thing of 2024. I guess I found out about it in 2021. I catered a wedding with Chloe Coscarelli in Colorado, of all places, and we served this lasagna, this sweet corn lasagna that had a jalapeno pesto and a tomato jam. She has now gone on to use that tomato jam on a meatball sandwich she serves at Chloe on Bleecker. It's just so gosh darn good. I love me a tomato jam. I'm into it. Okay, chapter 7 is St. Patrick's Day. So we're looking at St. Patrick's Day now. And for St. Patrick's Day, we are getting some delights, my angels. We're getting some avocado cabbage rolls, herbed couscous and kale salad with green apples, sausage stuffed links, pepperoni potato soup with kale, corn, beet, and cabbage, super simple sauteed cabbage, Irish stout stew with potato biscuits, super fancy roasted carrots and cabbage wedges, shamrock and shakes, and Irish cream whoopie pies. So that's some good stuff. That takes us, of course, into chapter 8, which is Easter. And I've spoken of this holiday before in terms of like, my family, like my mom always had like an Easter brunch, but I was always kind of like, well, why food? What's happening here? Like what makes an Easter meal? Like in terms of like what food are we choosing, right? My mom always had like a ham and stuff. But through years with, now that I don't eat meat, I'm like, what am I putting at the Easter table? Issa says, spring is in the air, the bunnies are hopping, the tulips and daffodils are blooming, and it's time for the egg hunt. Okay, if you're vegan, you can just stuff some biodegradable plastic eggs with vegan candy and hide them. She goes, and then go find them all by yourself. And that's right. That's exactly what I'll do. So in this chapter, we got cream of carrot soup, eggplant caponata bruschetta, marinated potatoes with fresh dill, sauteed radishes with garlic and chives, cucumber cups with picnic tofu salad. These look really cute. It's these little cucumber cups with the skin partially shaved off with like the egg salad sitting in it like it's a little holder. It's very lovely. We got said that one. Devilish potatoes, shrimp kebabs with mint yogurt sauce, white bean and broccoli quiche, sweet and smoky glazed tofu ham. All right now. So veggie pastizio, classic carrot cake, and glazed blueberry Meyer lemon scones. Now, I'm curious about the ham what are we using for the base of our ham? Let's see. Glazed tofu ham. Did I say that in the title already? And then I'm like, what's in the ham? Glazed tofu ham. That's what it is. And it's called sweet and smoky glazed tofu ham. So great. I love that. And then the one after that is so veggie pasticcio. I don't know what that is. Oh, Larry baked casserole. Oh, I see what it is now. It's a baked pasta dish, and it looks so delicious. She says, "Oh, Larry baked casserole, goddess of pasta, meaty lentils, veggies, and cream." Pasticcio is sometimes called Greek lasagna, and you'll soon see why. The little hints of cinnamon and red wine, though, make it uniquely pasticcio. The traditional tube-shaped pasta looks so cool and artsy when you cut into it. So you have your Instagram at the ready. So have your Instagram at the ready. Okay, next we're getting into Passover. So we're looking at some Passover recipes here. Oh, that last one. Look at those scones. She's got this classic carrot cake that looks amazing. And then blueberry and Meyer lemon scones look out of this world. Passover, she says, I've always relished the Passover table. You sit around asking questions, playing games, and eating matzo ball soup. What's not to love? But Passover and veganism can be, well, tricky. Even with a few years of Hebrew school under my belt, I'm still not sure what foods are okay to eat at Passover. It all depends if you're Ashkenazi or Sephardic and a few million other things. So let's just say that I avoided the big one in this chapter, leavened bread. For all other dishes that may or may not be allowed, check with your rabbi or the internet. Now, on to the fun part. In this chapter, we've got tempeh shepherd's pie with whipped sweet potatoes, roasted red pepper and hazelnut dip, ginger orange simmies, roasted beet borscht, and vegetable broth, flaxen matzo ball soup, coconut cream pie with bittersweet ganache, and matzah graham cracker crust. Oh, listen to that. Now, I have been curious about what. There's not a picture. She's like, Zimmies. I don't know if that's how you say it. It's Tizimmes. So I'm saying Zimmies, but is it Zimmies? Syrupy sweet potatoes and plump prunes laced with ginger and orange always brighten up the Passover plate. And like most Passover food, it's fun to say too. Well, I wish that it was put out phonetically for me so I could. I think it's Zimmies. I'm going to have to look that up. I know y'all are probably shouting at me right now. Apologies. And I will look it up and I will educate myself after I get off this podcast. And maybe I'll bring it back if I remember and let y'all know what I learned in case you were wondering. But maybe I'm alone and I'm the only one who didn't know. Anyway, moving on to Cinco de Mayo. So we're looking at Cinco de Mayo recipes here. We got, she says, I have a sneaking suspicion that this will be the most bookmarked section in this cookbook with things like burrito potato salad. Oh my gosh. Girl, burrito potato salad. I'm here for that. Mexican Caesar salad, spicy tomato rice, tomatillo pasole with pintos and avocado, broiled corn with coconut and lime, spicy pinto seitan cutlets, super classic guacamole. Not just classic guacamole, it's super classic. Salsa fresca, mushroom spinach quesadillas, seitan de mayo carnitas, that took a minute, almond churro biscotti, and spicy chocolate cupcakes with hot candied pecans. Next, we get into Mother's and Father's Day. I think is that where we're going? Mother's and Father's Days. Let me pull this up for you here, my babes. Mother's and Father's Day. We're looking at, oh, I see a beautiful photo. She did all these photos and they're really so good. It's fun to look at Issa's books through the years and see how the photography has evolved. Because I think, I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know if she's done all of her photos, but I have a suspicion that she's done the majority of them. And it's fun to, if you go back and look at her older cookbooks and then you look at something like this, or even, you know, her last couple books, Fake Meat and I Can Cook Vegan, like it's just beautiful the way the photography has blossomed and grown. It's so cool to see and inspiring as someone who takes their food photos and is very much like, what the hell am I doing? All right, so Mother's and Father's Day. She says, at first, this section had been two separate chapters for Mother's Day and Father's Day, but then I decided, why be so gender normative? Who knows? Maybe your mom loves Japanese food and your dad loves quiche. Maybe you have two dads who both love French toast. Maybe you were raised by an Italian grandma whom you simply must introduce to vegan Alfredo. That's right, girl. So in this chapter, we got lots of stuff. We got a blueberry buckwheat pancake. It looks so good, y'all. Quiche Laurent, tahini mom salad, seitan nejimaki, Let's look that up. Let's see what I'm trying to say here and what that is. Seitan nejamaki. I can't believe I put myself out in this world like this for y'all saying these words. Y'all just hating on me on the other side, maybe, but I get it. I should have studied. I should have prepared. Beautifully grilled teriyaki rolls stuffed with vibrant. I'm gonna say it's nejamaki. Nejamaki. I think so. Okay. It's beautifully grilled teriyaki rolls stuffed with vibrant scallions. Swoon. The characteristics that I wanted to really shine were the charred grilled flavor and, of course, the scallions. The simple marinade of hoisin and mirin really does its job, keeping things juicy with the perfect marriage of sweet and savory. This recipe makes more seitan than you'll need, but that's okay. Any leftover seitan will be great in a stir fry. It may take a couple tries before you get the strips perfectly thin for wrapping. This looks like a really fun recipe. So it's basically the scallions are wrapped in the seitan. And then you have that delicious hoisin sauce with mirin in there to just kind of make everything pop. Good stuff. And then we've got truffled almond Alfredo and really garlicky broccoli. Bouillabaisse with roasted yellow squash and chickpea, grilled ramen, zucchini noodles with peanut sauce, miso dashi broth, Elvis cupcakes, cinnamon raisin swirl bread, and rhubarb crumb cake. Now, if y'all been listening, you know that I love me some rhubarb. So I'm here for a rhubarb cupcake. And we've also got these Elvis cupcakes. So I wanted to take a look and see what's in here for you. It says this cupcake will have you shaking your hips. A fluffy banana cupcake with peanut butter frosting and caramelized banana on top of it all. Smoky, salty coconut bacon, all in honor of the King of Rock's favorite sandwich. Serve them in animal print cupcake liners, and you'll be able to feel the shag carpet beneath your feet in the jungle room. So, those are the Elvis cupcakes. I knew they'd have all those delicious flavors. I was just really curious of how she was going to do it. And that sounds very yummy. All right, this takes us to the 4th of July. 4th of July. Let's see what goodies she has cooked up for us. She says this section is more than just what to serve before you watch the fireworks. You can look at this as a summertime cookout manifesto. From chilled soups to grilled pizzas, all your hot weather cravings are covered. Of course, you'll find recipes for the best burgers and hot dogs for the grill here as well. So we're looking at chilled fresh corn soup. You know, I've said it before, I don't love me a cold soup, but that actually sounds delicious. Chilled pea soup with mint. That does not sound delicious, but you know, to some it might. Chilled golden beet and ginger soup. That one does sound delicious. So she's getting me with some cold soups here. Green gazpacho, bow tie and butterbean salad with fresh dill, spicy tempeh stuffed avocado, melon salad with mint and lime, crunchy potato salad, eggy potato salad, stuffed cherry tomatoes with basil, grilled pizza, cheesy pizza with olives and basil, swirly pizza cheese, pizza awesome sauce, pizza party, grilled cauliflower steaks, grilled portobello sandwiches, grilled tofu with peanut sauce, eggplant chimichurri kebabs, crackly potato kebabs, classic veggie burgers, burger time forever, smoky dogs, and little blueberry galettes. Those are some collections for your 4th of July cooking, everybody. And I have to say, I'm pretty into it. 4th of July, I'm always like, well, I guess we'll just put some blueberries and strawberries together and call it a day. And I think that's effective. But it's fun to have some recipes like this to, elevate things a little bit. And really, especially when you're vegan and if you're going to a non-vegan event, which I'm sure on the 4th of July, that's quite possible. It's fun to take some really sort of like just really tasty dishes that you can wow people with, right? All right. Next, we're going into Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So when we're looking at these right now, we've got, as I'm turning the page, turn. This is me killing time until I find the page. Here we are. So this is Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. These holidays have always indicated that bittersweet transition from summer to fall. I remember being a child walking to temple, summer memories fresh in my mind, but autumn leaves swirling around my brand new Mary Janes. Little did I realize then that this was absolutely the best season for produce. So in this chapter, we've got challah French toast, sweet potato apples with candied pecans, yes, macadamia cheese blintzes with cherries, stone fruit and lentil salad with creamy mustard dressing, brown sugar carrots, tater tot kugel, gefilte chickpeas, pineapple noodle kugel, almond ricotta, broccoli kugel, sun-dried tomato seitan roast with braised vegetables, challah toast, honey bundt cake, and chocolate babka. All right. Oh, sounds really good. All right. Next, we're going into one of my favorite holidays here. So this is chapter 14. Did you hear that, y'all? 14, and we're not done yet. There's 17 chapters. So this is chapter 14. It's Halloween. So what did Isa give us for Halloween? She says, okay, now we really get to have some fun. This chapter is all about playing with your food. But even though Halloween is kitschy, it can still be totally delish. It is, after all, autumn, and those earthy, herby flavors are in full force here, even in a casserole that looks like a monster ghost. All right, so we're getting roasted carrot hummus with beet chips. Love those colors. I got to tell you, this year for have I said that a million times? I got to tell you, this year I went to a couple events for Halloween, and I was listen, the food was delicious. Both the events were put on by chefs, so this is no shade, but it's more a perspective and an opinion. The chefs were trying to achieve, in their mind, they thought Halloween dark food. So I walked into two events. One was a plated, like fine dining element, and all of the food was like a little dark to me. I was like, why are we looking at, and the theme was like Nightmare on Something Street, and like just everything was very dark. And then the other theme also very dark. Like there was a fondue that was literally brown, and I was like, is that the fondue or is that a bean dip, right? But I just thought, if I were to throw a Halloween party, I'm gonna lean into orange, purple, green. Like I'm still gonna try and like put a pop of color in there. And anything that's gonna be dark, it's gonna be like pitch black. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying I'm throwing a Halloween party anytime soon, but if I were, that's what I would do. So I'm really happy to see roasted carrots hummus, which is gonna be bright orange with beet chips. So then you got that purple in there. I love that. Mummy dogs, Zombaroni pizza faces, spaghetti and eyeballs, monster mash shepherd's pie, little peanut butter cups, peanut butter caramel apples, jeez, yum, chocolate dippy apples, betwixt bars, and Alton's candy corn veganized. So here's the gosh darn thing. I mean, wow. I was looking for Halloween recipes this year. I should have come right to here because this has got, I want all those things. The betwixt bars, are you kidding me? And gosh, she really goes in and makes some candy corn in here. So for the candy corn, she says, I don't know why non-vegans would make their own candy corn, but Alton Brown did, and we took his recipe and veganized it. So now we have candy corn too. Now there's no reason not to go vegan. This candy corn contains no waxes or preservatives, so it isn't as sturdy as store-bought. That means you shouldn't leave it in your pocket or let it sit in a warm room for too long, or it will melt. Keep it cool and it will be cool. I made the directions as clear as possible. If you run into trouble, definitely watch Alton's candy corn video on YouTube. Oh, well, I love that. Listen, I like candy corn. I mean, I don't eat it anymore, obviously, because it's not vegan, but I may return to this and I may make it. Because I really do like it. I enjoy it. What can I say? I like it. I know some people hate it. It's a divisive candy. I actually like, which I said this out loud to a couple people this Halloween, and they were like, that is disgusting. I liked the pumpkins that's made out of the same candy corn stuff. I like those. And people were like, oh, that's vile. And I'm like, sorry, I don't know why I prefer those over the candy corns either. I mean, when I was a kid. When I was a kid too, like I definitely thought the candy corns were disgusting, but I liked the pumpkin. I think that's very interesting. I find that very interesting. All right. Now we're getting into Thanksgiving. So, gosh, this is coming out, I think, a week or two before Thanksgiving. So maybe you'll get some inspo. Maybe you're going to hear some things that are going to make you want. Because now I'm going to say all these things. This is why we're doing all these holiday books right now around the holiday season. So that if you hear some things you like, you'll know that you have a cookbook you can turn to and you can buy this and put it on your shelf. So, she says, in all my decades as a vegan cook, I've probably been asked about this holiday more than any other. Well, vegan Thanksgiving is its own thing. For some reason, more than any other holiday, vegans get together for this one. It's more important than anything. Let's forget for a minute that Thanksgiving is actually based on, because that's really a bunch of BS. Yes, girl. But let's take that BS and turn it into something real, a day to give thanks, a day to celebrate friends and family, and a day to care about animals even more than you usually do. That is absolutely true. We actually, man, I'm going to tell this story. Mom, if you hear it, I love you. We went to my family Thanksgiving last year, and we do this thing where we all stand around and we say what we're grateful for. And One of the children said, "I'm grateful for my first kill." And everybody applauded. And he was talking about shooting a deer, of course. I'm from Michigan. That's where my mom's side of the family is. That's where I was. Hunting is a very big thing. And David and I just looked at each other. And then when we got in the car after, we were like, well, I guess that's the last time we're ever doing Thanksgiving there, because I'm just reached a point where I'm not doing that. Thanksgiving is a day about being with the one you love and being with family and friends and celebrating for me. So I'm saying Thanksgiving is about, but I'm saying for me, from my perspective these days, because what people say it's about is definitely BS. I agree with Isa. And there's a reason vegans get together on this day, because so many people are celebrating turkey around a table, like a dead turkey, and eating it. And we can get together and celebrate how we can have so much delicious food and it didn't harm anyone or anything to get it. So that's why on a holiday that has become so food focused, the vegans get hyper focused on it, because we're like, no, let's create something where we can enjoy each other's company and be compassionate. And when members of my family applauded a child for shooting a deer, I was like, I can't be around this energy on this day. Like, this is not what I want. And I love my family, but that's just a choice that I've made. And I think David and I are sticking by that. We're not going to be back there this year. Again, love them. We'll see them at Christmas. It's plus, like, I enjoy our vegan Thanksgiving. Sometimes it's just me and David, and we lean in hard on that tofurkey. Oh, girl, we love that tofurkey. And I get excited because sometimes we're like, oh, I'm going to make a roast or something. And then I'm like, but why would I? When this tofurkey, like, David and I wait for the tofurkey all year. Like, we love it. We can't get enough of it. And it's special to us because we do wait for it all year. You could get it at other times of the year, but we don't. I've already bought it. It's in our freezer. This Thanksgiving, we're having our tofurkey dinner, and then we're gonna go see Wicked, and we cannot wait. And it's just the two of us. And baby, I'm here for it. Now, Christmas, we're gonna be with my mama and with my family, and it's gonna be a nice time. And I'm gonna make a vegan spread like I always do. I'll probably be like, I'm not really gonna make anything, and I'm gonna make 1,200 things, but I can't help myself. It's just what I do. So in this chapter for Thanksgiving, she's got, oh, you know what else I'm doing this year? I'm doing like a little media blitz for PCRM, where I'm going to promote our holiday recipes that are on our Universal Meals platform. So all void of the top 9 allergens that really create a space for everyone at the table. It makes it so it's an inclusive environment at Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, so everyone can sit around the table and enjoy a meal together. And I'm going to be promoting all of those recipes the week before Thanksgiving, which means I'm going to have so many Thanksgiving like esque sides. So I think I'm going to be set for Thanksgiving, because I'm definitely going to like container those up, and that's going to be what we eat the day of Thanksgiving. Because, man, I think I've got a lot of food I'm going to be preparing in the weeks to come ahead of me. And I will survive. I will survive. All right. So in this chapter for Thanksgiving, now that I've gone on a tangent about it and shared a very intimate detail about my family history, we are looking at cream of porcini mushroom soup. I have made this soup. It is absolutely delicious, rich and decadent and so yummy. Caramelized onion and cauliflower casserole, super simple cornbread stuffing with goji berries and fennel. Yeah, girl. Pumpkin cornbread. Yeah, girl. Super traditional stuffing. Olive oil, smashed potatoes, fancy, not fancy mushroom gravy, creamy whipped potatoes, white bean and sage gravy, curried candy yams, orange scented cranberry sauce, golden corn pudding, green bean casserole, winter squash cups with wild rice, hazelnuts and cherries, stuffed Thanksgiving burgers, double batch chickpea cutlets, roast stuffed with leeks and shiitakes, sweet potato cranberry bread, pastry crust, ginger apple pie, chocolate pecan pie, and pumpkin pie, honeys, of course. All right, we're getting to the finish line here. We got 2 left. We're hitting Hanukkah next. So Hanukkah is our next one in here. Let's see what Isa is bringing to the table for Hanukkah. I think she's got some delicious sweet potato latkes in here that I might have made once. Let's see. She says, it's Hanukkah time. Yeah, there will be some dreidel spinning, and maybe you'll listen to some Beastie Boys. But the main event is going to be frying everything with wild abandon, because that oil lasted 8 days. And for goodness sake, we're going to celebrate it with latkes every which way and perfectly golden jelly donuts every day. Love it. Don't have a deep fryer? Don't worry. A 6-quart Dutch oven works just as well, or even your regular cast iron skillet can get the job done. To round out your Hanukkah table, so that's it's just not so to round out your Hanukkah table, so it's not just a fry feast. Fry Fest, try some of the suggestions to the right, plucked from the other chapters in the book. All right, so here we go. Classic Moskowitz latkes, so very sour cream. Caramelized onions, sweet potato latkes, samosa stuffed latkes, rusty latkes, pear chutney, super yum baked potato pancakes, pretty and pink applesauce, fried pickles with ranch, zucchini baba ganoush. Oh, David would love those fried pickles with ranch. I might make them for him. He will love them. Zucchini baba ganoush, green falafel, kasha varnishkis, cholent with porcinis and kidney beans, jelly donuts. That's a word I've not learned how to pronounce here, but it's sufkinyat. I know I'm saying it wrong. Sorry, everybody. All arugula, prune and poppy seed, hamantaschen, and mandelbrot. And then we've got other great Hanukkah dishes. So that's like all the fried stuff she gave you. And then she gave you some suggestions from other chapters. Here we go. Bagels and knocks with wild mushroom caviar, cream of carrot soup, tempeh shepherd's pie with whipped sweet potatoes, roasted beet borscht, flazen matzo ball soup, sweet potato apples and candied pecans, any of the kugels from Rosh Hashanah, and sun-dried tomato seitan roast with braised vegetables, which takes us into my babies. The end of the book, the final chapter is Christmas. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. And I'm always so curious about this because, the Thanksgiving table, we're all pretty clear. I guess people are clear about what they want at it. Mac and cheese is always a debated one. I love having mac and cheese at the Thanksgiving table, and some people are always like, "Why is mac and cheese here?" And I'm like, "Because it's delicious. Stop it and eat it." So Christmas, I'm kind of the same. I'm like, what belongs on a Christmas table, right? So she says, Christmas lights, Christmas trees, my Spotify indie rock Christmas playlist. I just love Christmas. Since I won't shut up about it, you probably realize that I was raised Jewish, but that has never stopped me from decking the halls. So she's gotten here for us lentil tamales with mole rojo. Actually, she was talking about this on last week when she was on talking about Veganomicon. She goes, "That's where the lentil tamales with the mole are, right?" Terry was like, "No, but we've got a butternut squash mole." Bless Issa and Terry's brains. They've written so many books, and I'm like, "Tell us what your favorite recipe is from this book that's almost 20 years old." And poor Issa's like, she did great though. I really love that episode and love that they came on together. Okay, then we got bean bourguignon, scalloped potatoes, pumpkin and cranberry risotto with chestnuts, sort of classic pot pie, epic eggplant lasagna, spinach and pine nut stuffed cheesy roast, blood orange glazed tofu, figgy pear crumble, gingerbread waffles. Whoa, gingerbread waffles. I'm going to be real honest about something. I've kind of snoozed on this book. I've snoozed on this book a little bit. Honestly, because when I've opened it, I always get like really overwhelmed by it because I'm like, there's just so much I don't know what to choose. But as I'm really going through it and reading all of these recipes, there's several things I want to make. Like, can you imagine making your family gingerbread waffles around Christmas time? That is, first of all, that's a delight. Okay, can we all just agree? Gingerbread waffles, baby, get into it. Okay, then we got banana eggnog pancakes. Like, look at the list keeps getting better. Cranberry orange cheesecake, graham cracker crust, chocolate raspberry bouche de Noël, gingerbread people, big soft chocolate chip cookies, lemon drop thumbprint cookies. That's a David favorite, so maybe I'll make these for him, though we do have our own recipe. David's got his own that you may remember. I've got a little book available called The 12 Treats of Christmas, Volume 1. We sold it last year. We donated the proceeds to the Trevor Project. We'll probably put it out there again this year. But what we didn't write a volume 2. I didn't do a volume 2 yet. I don't know if I ever will. I called it volume 1 thinking that'll get me going. I mean, let me let y'all in on a little something here. I'm going through a career transition. I'm trying to say no to a lot of projects right now because I'm feeling very creatively drained. I've sort of built all the things I have for the last year in my culinary career from scratch, and I'm just a little tapped creatively. So I'm trying to say no to stuff, step back, take a break, and figure out what is next for me because I get all these great opportunities that come to me, but lately I've not been feeling energized around them. Speaking of which, though I think this comes out after, I've got a holiday cooking class. Yeah, I just taught it last week. By the time this comes out, I will have taught it, but it's going to be my last class, maybe forever, maybe for a while. I don't know. So I'm in an interesting spot. Don't worry, this podcast ain't going anywhere. It's one of the things I love, 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 love. Going through these cookbooks always brings me so much joy. And when I get one in my hands, and I've shared this before, like I can feel the blood, sweat, and tears. Like going through this page by page and seeing the work Isa put into this, it really brings me so much respect, so much joy. I love cookbooks so much. So this ain't going nowhere, babies. Okay, so we got the lemon drop thumbprint cookies, peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, candy cane fudge cookies, and cranberry spiced oatmeal cookies. And that, my friends, is the Super Fun Times Vegan Holiday Cookbook by Chandra Moskowitz. And this is entertaining for absolutely every occasion. So get into it. Get this book everywhere books are sold. And of course, be sure to follow Isa at Isa Chandra on Instagram. You can look up her blog at the PPK Kitchen, or is it PP? It's Punk Post Kitchen. If you put in punkpostkitchen.com, it's going to come up. And that's the Super Fun Times Vegan Holiday Cookbook. I hope you get into it. Keep on cooking. And hey, remember, it's nice to be nice.
Thank you so much for listening. We'd be so grateful if you would rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. It really does help us.
Yes, thank you so much. And don't forget to check out keeponcooking.com for all of the latest in recipes and Keep On Cooking updates. This has been a Muzzy Cat production.